Love. It's a word whispered on the wind, a promise etched in the soul, a feeling that can lift us to the highest peaks. But sometimes love is a burden, a weight that pulls us down, a tide that threatens to drown us in its depths, leaving us gasping for air. Unrequited love. It's a pain that cuts deep, a wound that refuses to heal, a shadow that lingers in the corners of our hearts. It's the slow, agonizing burn of longing, the constant ache of what could never be, a dream that haunts our waking moments. I know this pain intimately. I've carried it within me, a heavy stone nestled in the pit of my stomach, a burden that seemed impossible to shed. For years I held on to a love that was never truly mine, a dream woven from whispers and stolen glances, a fantasy that kept me captive. It was a love built on hope, a fragile thing easily shattered by the harsh realities of life, a delicate glass that broke with the slightest touch. But life, in its infinite wisdom, has a way of forcing us to confront our demons, to face the truths we've been avoiding. It pushes us to the edge of the precipice, forcing us to choose between clinging to the familiar or taking a leap of faith into the unknown, a choice that defines our future. And so I stand here, on the edge of letting go, ready to face the storm within my heart, prepared to embrace the change that awaits. They say that time heals all wounds, but they never mention how long it takes or how deep the scars can be. But what they don't tell you is that the healing process is messy, a chaotic whirlwind of emotions that leaves you breathless, battered, and clinging to the remnants of your sanity. It's a storm that rages within, tearing apart the very fabric of your soul. It's a journey fraught with setbacks, with moments of blinding hope followed by crushing waves of despair. Each step forward feels like a victory, only to be followed by a fall into the abyss. I spent countless nights lost in the labyrinth of my memories, replaying every shared smile, every accidental touch, every stolen glance. These memories, once a source of comfort, now haunt me like ghosts in the night. Each memory, once a source of sweet agony, now felt like a shard of glass piercing my heart. The pain was relentless, a constant reminder of what was lost. The more I clung to the past, the more painful the present became. It was as if I was trapped in a never-ending cycle of sorrow and regret. The person I loved, the one I yearned for with every fiber of my being, was nothing more than a ghost, a figment of my imagination. They were there, yet always out of reach, like a shadow that disappears when you try to grasp it. They were the sun, a distant, unattainable star, and I, a mere planet trapped in their gravitational pull. Forever orbiting, forever longing, but never truly touching the light. Love, like a garden, needs to be nurtured, cared for, and allowed to grow. It needs sunlight and rain, laughter and tears, shared dreams and unspoken promises. But my love, starved of reciprocation, withered and wilted, leaving behind only thorns and the bitter taste of regret. For too long, I allowed myself to believe that my love was enough, that if I just held on tight enough, if I loved deeply enough, then somehow miraculously, things would change. But reality, like a harsh winter frost, had a way of killing even the most resilient of blooms. The truth was, I had been tending to a garden that was never meant to be mine. I had poured my heart and soul into something that could never truly flourish, neglecting my own needs in the process. Letting go. It's a phrase that's easier said than done. It's a process, a slow and agonizing unraveling of the heart. It's the act of surrendering to the reality that some things are beyond our control, that sometimes the people we love are not meant to be ours. The silence was deafening. It filled the empty spaces where their laughter used to be, the spaces where their voice used to whisper my name. It was a constant reminder of their absence, a gaping hole in the fabric of my existence. And yet, within that silence, I began to hear my own voice again. It was faint at first, a mere whisper lost in the cacophony of my grief. But slowly, gradually, it grew stronger, more insistent, urging me to break free from the chains of unrequited love. They say that the scent of spring is the earth's way of saying, let's begin again. It's the promise of new beginnings, of fresh starts, of hope blooming anew after a long, harsh winter. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, life finds a way. I could smell it in the air, that faint, sweet fragrance of renewal. It was a reminder that even though my heart ached with a pain I had never known before, even though I felt lost and alone, there was still beauty to be found in the world. The world had not stopped spinning. The sun still rose and set, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. Life went on, and somewhere deep down I knew that I had to find a way to move on too. There's a certain kind of peace that comes from surrendering to the storm, a unique tranquility that can only be found in the heart of chaos. It's the realization that fighting against the inevitable is futile, that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is let go and trust the process. It's in the moments when we are at our most vulnerable, stripped bare of all pretenses, that we discover our true strength. I embraced the pain, allowing it to teach me resilience. I allowed myself to grieve, to cry, to rage against the unfairness of it all without holding back. I didn't try to suppress my emotions, to pretend that I was okay when I was anything but. I faced my feelings head on. I let the storm wash over me, cleanse me, and carry away the shattered pieces of my heart, piece by piece. And slowly, gradually, the storm began to subside, its ferocity giving way to a gentle calm. The waves of grief receded, leaving behind a sense of calm I hadn't realized I was capable of feeling, a newfound peace that settled deep within me. Acceptance. It's not a destination, but a journey. It's a winding road of twists and turns, with moments of clarity interspersed with bouts of self-doubt and lingering regret. It's a process of learning to live with the pain, of finding a way to carry it without letting it consume you. I began to focus on myself, on rediscovering who I was outside the confines of that unrequited love. I reconnected with old friends, pursued long-forgotten passions, and allowed myself to dream new dreams. Each step I took, however faltering, brought me closer to acceptance. It wasn't easy, but with each passing day the pain became a little less sharp, the memories a little less vivid. Our lives are woven together from the threads of our experiences, both good and bad. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every moment of joy and sorrow contributes to the rich tapestry of who we are. And while we may not be able to erase the past, we can choose how we let it shape us. I realized that my unrequited love, though painful, had taught me valuable lessons about myself, about love, and about the importance of self-respect. It had forced me to confront my own vulnerabilities, to acknowledge my own worth, and to set boundaries in all my relationships. The memories, once a source of pain, became a reminder of my own resilience, my capacity for love, and my ability to rise above adversity. There is an incredible strength that comes from letting go. It's the strength to acknowledge that you deserve to be with someone who loves you back, someone who chooses you every single day. It's the strength to walk away from something that no longer serves you, even if it breaks your heart in the process. I had finally reached a place of peace. The pain was still there, lurking in the shadows, but it no longer controlled me. I had learned to coexist with it, to accept it as a part of my story, but not the entirety of it. Letting go had set me free, free from the chains of unrequited love, free from the burden of expectation, free to embrace all that life had to offer. Sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go. It's wishing the person you love all the happiness in the world, even if that happiness doesn't include you. It's putting their needs before your own, even if it means sacrificing your own happiness in the process. So I whispered a silent wish upon a star, a wish for their happiness, for their dreams to come true, for their life to be filled with love and laughter. And even though my heart still ached with a dull ache, I knew, deep down, that I had finally let go. The journey hadn't been easy, but it had been necessary. It had taught me the true meaning of love, the importance of self-discovery, and the transformative power of letting go. And for that, I would be forever grateful.